Hello, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. I must say, it is wonderful to see so many people in the room, not only on time, but early. So I must give it to y'all for that alone. We have an excellent showcase of truly tremendous founders. I mean, there's so much that I can say about them, but I will let the work speak for itself. As you make yourself aware in the space, as you can already tell, it's 6 o'clock and we already have a pretty full room. So make sure that you're making space for others, squeeze in if you have to, move in into the other seats because we're trying to keep the congestion to a minimum. I see plenty of room in the first, second, and third row. So as you're entering, feel free to come to the front. Don't be shy. Also, if you are interested, now would be a good time to just get that final piece of food before we transition into the actual showcase so as to not disrupt the audience as well as the founders. My name is Sephora. I realized I didn't start with that. And I am the program manager here at the Pava Center for Entrepreneurship. Do a whole bunch of odds and ends, but definitely here and proud to support the Social Innovation Lab. Oh, yeah, that's very sweet. And I have the absolute honor of introducing the man with the plan. Hope that one works. Josh Ambrose, the director of the Pava Center for Entrepreneurship.
Thank you, Sephora. Well, it's so good to see everybody here tonight. And I love this evening because tonight is not Shark Tank. It is not a competition. Tonight is a showcase. Tonight is a celebration of 10 amazing change makers here in the city. And let's give them a round of applause. And I want you to keep that applause going all evening. They're doing excellent work here, and I'm so excited for you to hear about it. I want to give you a couple of just quick orientation type things for those of you that haven't been in our building before. Restrooms are through the glass doors and to the right. For the next hour or so, while our teams are sharing, we ask that you give them your full attention. If you do get a phone call that you have to take, right back this hallway, we have 2 phone booths that you can break out for. I don't see any kids at the moment, but if kids do show up, we have reserved this room right behind this gentleman here, right behind the sign that says, "What advice do you want to pass on?" But young entrepreneurs can also go in there, the noisy entrepreneurs. And as Anthony already pointed out, we do have a number of different interactive things here for you this evening. There is the opportunity to leave a post-it note of advice. We have t-shirts over here. Wall supplies last. I got to tell you, there's a couple hundred of them there, so hopefully there's enough. And then over here on this wall, we have a chevron that is dedicated to our namesake. And so we have rubber bands over there, and so you get to add your own bit of color there to the wall this evening. So before you leave, make sure you note those different stations. I do ask, just to help us with trash and all of those little things. And I believe everybody got a ballot here this evening. Please keep a hold of that. We are going to be, as an audience, deciding 2 awards of $2,000 each that are going out to the teams. And you all get to decide that, which is really, really cool. Speaking of those rubber bands, though, I want to go back to that. As many of you know, and in fact, you've probably seen her picture coming in this building. We are so honored to have recently dedicated this building, this space, and our programs to Pava Lepere. Yeah, woo! Someone that we celebrate and appreciate. Pava was a passionate friend of Baltimore. She believed in the Social Innovation Lab program. She helped mentor dozens of teams that came through this program. And we are so honored to not just have her name here in this space, but to continue to live out her ideals and her priorities for investing here in Baltimore. We're also incredibly honored to be joined by 2 members of her family here this evening. So please join me in thanking Frank and his mother for being here this evening. Thank you, Frank. So good to see you. Um, All right, one final word from me. All of our awards and all of the work that happens here this evening is made possible by the generous support of alumni, of friends here in the city, and folks across the Hopkins community. And so we're just deeply grateful for that support and that encouragement. And yeah, without further ado, I'm going to welcome Anthony back up, and we're going to get those teams up in front of you in just a moment. So please join me in welcoming my good friend and the director of the Social Innovation Lab, Anthony Waters, everybody.
Thank you, Josh. And thank you all for being here. Give yourself one more round of applause. This is such a special day. It's super important to me. I am also an SIL founder and alumni, and unfortunately, my cohort year, the pandemic hit, and so we didn't get to do a showcase. And so I am living vicariously through all the cohorts that come through the Social Innovation Lab and get to share all of the wonderful work that they are doing with you all. And so for the past 6 months, these teams have been hard at work building innovative, powerful, impactful, game-changing solutions to fix Baltimore for the better. And tonight they're going to share that with you, and I'm so excited for it. Just again, wanted to shout out the team. You all just heard from Josh, the director of the Pava Center. Special thank you. Can we get one more round of applause for Sephora? Sephora is my partner in crime with Social Innovation Lab, and together we have tried our best to bring these teams forward here to you. Today, also want to shout out Paul Davison. Is he around? Oh, right here in the front. Paul is Assistant Director of Student Ventures. He's running some of our other programming that happens here and also helps us out a lot. And what will we do without the great Elena DeBow? Where's Elena? All things marketing, helping to put these cool slides together, helping to keep the building in pace, and helping keeping all of us in order. So we're super grateful for her. Also want to shout out our student advisors, our interns, Toby and Godson. Could y'all, I see Godson is hard at work right now, but want to shout out our interns that's helped us work with all of our teams. And then our speakers. If you are SIL workshop facilitator or speaker and you are here in the crowd right now, could you just stand or wave your hand? I know I see Lakeisha and Sonia there and Dion in the back. We so appreciate you all and the work that you do, pouring into our founders and giving them all that great expertise. We really do appreciate you. And there are a couple more that aren't shown. But we, over the course of 6 months, we met every Thursday and the last Saturday of every month, working hard to build our programs, working hard to build our business models. And these folks helped us get it done. So we're forever grateful for the folks you see on the screen. Oh, Myra's here too. Got to shout out Myra. Thank you, Myra. She was one of our speakers, and she is all of our bosses too. So format for tonight, 10 teams. Each will give a 6-minute pitch. All right. We will give out 3 awards at the end. Wrong way. Sorry. Every team that participated in a cohort already got $5,000. But tonight, you all will just help us decide 2 $2,000 awards. So you all may have picked up a paper ballot on your way in. And if you have not, please make sure you get a ballot. You're going to rank your favorite teams from 1 to 4, 1 being the best. All right. And based on your votes, we are going to select 2 $2,000 prize winners. And then our $15,000 cohort grand prize was decided on by the members of the cohort, where they voted for each other and decided who did they think the money would go the furthest for and create the biggest impact in Baltimore. So we'll get to see who wins that award. All right, and I think we're ready to go. Are y'all ready? Yeah, let's get it. All right, so we starting off with a straight banger, one of my favorites. Hardware engineer, STEM founder, Techstars founder, West Baltimore native, who is changing the narrative and creating a space for more Black girls to be involved in tech. Without further ado, Shauna Step Jones.
Good evening. I'm Shauna Step Jones, hardware engineer from West Baltimore, a former patent examiner, a Johns Hopkins Whiting School of Engineering alum, and the proud inventor of Spundle, the first ever no heat, ultra fast wig and weave dryer. And I know that when girls from disinvested communities like Park Heights, Emerson Village, or down the hill are historically excluded from, I hear some feedback. And I know that when girls from disinvested communities like Park Heights, Emerson Village, and down the hill are historically excluded from or underrepresented in decision-making spaces, huge social problems exist. These social issues include gender inequality, a lack of female participation and innovation, a disparity of female STEM role models, especially of the Black and Brown ethnicity, and a global gender digital gap that negatively impacts economic and social development. To quantify this impact, there's 250 million fewer women online globally than men. And Black women account for only 2% of the STEM workforce. And women represented only 10.9% of the inventors on all US patents in 2022. But when these girls are able to overcome barriers and have their voices heard, they produce more creative and effective solutions to the political, economical, and technological challenges that we collectively face today. With Baltimore receiving a new federal tech hub designation and ushering in millions and millions of dollars, and with the massive cleanup and rebuild of the Key Bridge, the opportunity for girls, our girls, right here from Baltimore, to be a part of these incredible engineering and historic endeavors is fascinating to me. So, how do they compete? Deveneering Lab provides a revolutionary solution that disrupts the perception of women in STEM through hair and beauty tech innovation. Our solution involves upscaling young women and girls and providing them with access and opportunity to apply those skills directly to the research and development of our spindle drying technology. So, how do we do this? We curate culturally relevant STEM and innovation enrichment programming that teaches critical thinking, product development, digital design, and fabrication skills. So, in order for these girls to use advanced product development and digital design tools like Fusion, Onshape, or AutoCAD to create, our girls are provided with a product development learning experience for a pain point they are very culturally familiar with. To date, we have employed 6 female youth workers from the city of Baltimore. We trained them on our spindle technology and public speaking and flew them out to Miami to Bronner Brothers Beauty Trade Show so that they can assist in our market research and customer discovery. Can you all just imagine how proud I am to create a technology that creates a pathway of economic empowerment and mobility, not just for myself, but also for the girls right here from Baltimore? Through our programming partnership with Baltimore City Recreation and Parks, we have conducted 352 programming hours, impacting 2,360 girls. We've reached 13 recreational sites, 2 elementary schools, 2 high schools with our STEM and innovation curriculum. And we've partnered in programming with 2 community partners, Learning How and Charm School Project for Girls. And we've generated over $200,000 in revenue. And what I'm most incredibly proud of is that we have retained one of our youth workers, Coria Collins, as a seasonal employee in between her semesters at Bowie State University, where she's majoring in business and entrepreneurship. And Corier's success is just a testament to the recurring, sustainable impact that our program ignites for girls from kindergarten to college. By providing a unique female-focused gateway into STEM and innovation, the girls that we impact are significantly more likely to have high livable wages, financial stability, competitive tech skills, and a pathway to entrepreneurship, product development, and inventorship. We love and we respect the organizations doing the good work in this space, such as the Digital Harbor Foundation, B360, B360, and the Ingenuity Project. But our program is unique because Deveneering provides a dynamic pipeline into STEM for girls exclusively for girls from Baltimore, and in addition provides access and opportunity for jobs and internships, and to participate in the real innovation of our category defining wig and weave dryer. I seen you. I seen you. I'm almost finished. But our program, whether we're using chemistry through cosmetics to teach them how to make lipstick out of crayons, or whether we're using electric circuits so that they can create LED jewelry, our program has proven to be captivating girls and providing them with the confidence and curiosity to pursue STEM. So in closing, I ask you all to support us by sponsoring the participation of one girl in our summer STEM and innovation camp. And I want to thank you for your support, and let's continue to impact.
Great. All right, can we give it up one more time for Shauna? I don't feel like that was loud enough. Wow, wonderful. I'll give y'all an extra moment for the QR code. I know I'd have my phone out. Oh, maybe a couple extra moments, okay. Okay. And of course, extra plug, you see the colorful pink table over there. Excellent time to reconnect with Shauna during the break. So before I continue, I realized that we didn't mention a very unique asset of this particular program. Not only are there community-based entrepreneurs that may or may not be affiliated with JHU, but we have this as a direct pipeline for social entrepreneurs bred and born here at Hopkins. And so this particular founder, Mark, who is going to talk a little bit more about something that he created in the lab with innovation and technology, has found a way to really hone his niche in Baltimore and take advantage of all of the community resources available. I can really go on and on and on about Mark, but I'd rather let him do it himself. So here's Mark with JJIM.
Thank you, Sephora. I will not go on and on about myself. I just want to thank the Baltimore community, SIL team, Pop Center team, all my fellow cohort members for giving me this opportunity. Very grateful to build my product and keep it here. Tend to grow with the city and take our neighbor with us as we go up. All right. Oh, sorry. Hello. Oh. Hello, I'm Mark Woe, co-founder and director of manufacturing for JJ Innovative Materials, where we build the next generation of plant-based, eco-friendly, sustainable drywall. We intend to build a sustainable future for humanity. We experienced the environmental problems of the $1.3 trillion construction materials industry when one fateful January night, a pipe burst and our ceiling came down. We generated bags and bags of trash. We used large amounts of harmful materials. And we had a pretty personal feeling of debt to the world as we generated a problem. Being engineers, we looked up the problem. We found some stats. Construction demolition waste generates over 10 billion tons annually, 30% of global waste. Most drywall ends up in landfills, being 2.4% of this. The drywall industry is dominated by gypsum boards and cement boards. Gypsum is composed of a sulfur-containing compound, which emits hydrogen sulfide gas, forming acid rain in landfills. You can imagine this is bad for some local farmers. It also emits sulfur dioxide, which is actually banned in most countries. We'd like to replace this. Cement has its own problems. It's a key ingredient in concrete, which is the most produced product in the world by volume. Cement is 8% of global carbon emissions. We can do better. Sand is mined at over 50 billion tons annually, decimating agricultural regions in less regulated nations. Truly not the best. Humanity can do better. We can build the next step. For us, that's sustainable drywall. With our continuous customer discovery research and market data, we've noticed that our potential customers really do care about the environment. We know we have a lot to do in terms of market penetration into the built industry, but our product is ready for market. It's price competitive. As we selected our materials very meticulously, we've managed to maintain an affordable and sustainable replacement for drywall. The production process is kept without heating or cooling processes, and we avoid the use of toxic chemicals. Post-production, we don't have any toxic byproducts because we have a plant rock-based material. This allows it to be safely disposed and keeps waste management costs down as well. 95% of our material is naturally abundant, sustainable, upcycled ingredients. This yields a carbon negative product that's still cost competitive. We are confident we're going to maintain that highest degree of functionality when compared with other market leaders. Compared with other products on market, we have key factors of mold, moisture, fire resistance. As market data shows, typically price increases with these, but we've managed to keep that cost down while maintaining those key functions. Our commercialization strategy of this product involves building local supply chains with local hemp farmers, local plant producers, and local research institutions, partnerships with Hopkins, Towson, and UMD, planning on building a base of scientific research. We intend to then take the products we generate and work with local carbon ESG and EPD, environmental product declarations, and tax credit certifiers to generate multiple streams of revenue for ourselves and the local builders we work with. We're confident that our carbon negative products, when compared with existing products on market, will get that EPD registration. We focus on engineering and manufacturing technologies currently. We've moved into phase 1, where we're developing small drywall repair panels. Phase 1.5, with a little bit of extra income, will generate full-size panels, allowing us to expand our reach and expand our uses. Eventually, that engineering technology will be bed of research for diversification of plant species. We're currently focused on Maryland-based plants, which allows us to increase the value of local agronomics, but we're open to increasing the value of all plant species around the world, thereby increasing our global reach, thereby increasing the amount of carbon being sequestered. We'll identify all the plant and rock bonds in those partnerships with local institutions, thus being able to generate a wide berth of uses. As we have more plant species, we can move into phase 2, global markets for drywall. Eventually, we'd like to take our hemp-based products and build into bamboo board, other plant boards. As our plant rock bonds are well understood, we can customize our drywall strength to build a core panel for other uses, building flooring, walling, or seal manufacturers. Since our first prototype, we've managed to partner with locals, the MIPLRC, the Maryland Intellectual Property Legal Research Center, to file our first patent. The Maryland Energy Innovation Accelerator has helped us out quite a bit. Johns Hopkins, Tech Ventures, everyone in the local area has helped us get farther along. Our first pilot projects are underway with more to come, and we've recently been accepted to the Conscious Venture Lab Accelerator while raising over $100,000 of non-dilutive grant funding to date. We're in that phase 1, and we plan on moving to that phase 1.5. With just $50,000, we can run one production line per year with over 100,000 panels being produced. This yields a revenue of $300,000. We're happy to put that back into the local ecosystem. Our TAM will grow as we go from small drywall markets to larger flooring, walling, ceiling markets. We intend to make sure that this growth encompasses the entire market, as we want our product to be ubiquitous, taking all the carbon out of the air. Our team is composed of 2 Johns Hopkins engineering PhDs in material science and civil engineering, and an experienced businessman who will get the job done. Thank you for listening. We're happy to announce that our pilots have been favorable and we're moving into manufacturing. We'd love to talk more. Please talk to me on the side.
Amazing work, amazing work, amazing work. Whenever I get my next house, I'm gonna get Mark to install some hemp sheetrock for me. All right, so next up, trying to find, oh yeah, there we go, clicker. We gotta do a shout out. So just 2 days ago, United Way had this big challenge going on where they invited change makers to apply for funding, and then they all got to pitch and compete. And of course, SIL alum ran the table. And so last year's cohort, Cameron Jiggers from Rise Arts won $15,000. Erica, who I saw in the room, also won $15,000. And in our current cohort, Leah won another $10,000. So after you leave SIL, it's clearly not over. They are out here doing the work, getting better, and getting all of the money. Let me hold $1, please. All right, we're gonna keep going. Next up, I'm gonna bring up another one of my favorites. I feel like everybody is my favorite, but this particular founder, when I first met her, it pulled at my heart so much. The light that shines through her and the potential of where she's gonna go in the future. A high school student in Baltimore City Schools raised $15,000 and started a company to help her classmates navigate their mental health. Without further ado, Shania Stevenson.
Okay, so I can get this photo. Thank you. Hi, once again, I'm Shania Stevenson. I am 17 years old and I am a senior, a graduating senior for that, at Baltimore Leadership School for Young Women. Yeah. And before I get started, I'm gonna start off with a quick activity with you guys. Oh, I'm gonna use this set. But I'm gonna start off with a quick activity with you guys. I want you guys to look at this chart and think back to when you were in high school. I want you to think back and see what emotion connected to you when you were in that past. Okay. And now I want you to think back to what resources you had to help you navigate through that process. With my organization, NAV, I focus on allowing teens like myself to navigate their emotional journeys. Not only that, but allowing myself to make mental health services accessible to teens because we see that globally 1 in 5 teens experience a mental health condition. Not only that, but yet we see that only 20% are receiving the necessary treatments needed. And that makes me think, why do only 20% receive the necessary treatments? And we get a clear sense that it's because of the root causes that we're seeing, such as lack of resources, lack of access, not financially stable, and not having the proper spaces within school systems to talk about these problems. And from that, we see that that 20% increases due to social isolation coming from COVID. And from that, students like myself start to feel alone and sad and helpless. I wanted to get a clear sense on my customer discovery, so I ended up challenging myself and taking a step back. I talked to my key stakeholders and my partners, understanding from different perspectives, such as teachers, students, and even my peers within the classroom. And I understood that something that we seen was the idea that a lot of childhood experiences, them adverse childhood experiences that we experience, appears in today's society. And toning in on student D, she says that she's not feeling like she's being heard. And when we understand, like, okay, why? When we get to that point, she explains that she feels invisible. And I got to the point where I understand how it feels to be invisible in these spaces that I present myself. Not only because I'm a girl, but because I'm a Black African American girl that has to show up to school every day and present myself as if I'm okay when I'm not. And from there, it makes me think, how might we make mental health services accessible to teens? And I've been able to build out my workshops and my after school clubs and my peer to peer support groups. And I can still see that it's improvement to be done. But from those key things that I've been working and focusing on, I've been able to turn those negative thoughts into more so positive ones. So we're making steps, right? And then from there, understanding that I go beyond any other approach because I am 17 and it is youth led and it is peer supported And it's touching on the idea that is culturally relevant to what's happening in today's society that really touches on teens like myself. And going beyond that, I'm able to connect with my student partners because I'm touching with school partnerships, social media, and also community outreach programs. And from hosting my workshops and facilitating spaces where students can come in and turn them negative thoughts into more positive ones, and having anxiety and stress moments where we can turn into where you can cope and have the professionals come in and talk to you, I've been able to see improved well-being. And not only that, but enhanced social relationships where me, Shania Stevenson, can enter a room and say, "Hi, I'm Shania Stevenson." And even talking to my school partners, I've been able to get a clear sense that academic improvements are happening. My paid partners that pay for my services are schools and organizations. From there, I host single day workshop series for 325 and excel from and all the way to 1600 for a 3-day workshop, allowing you to really navigate through your journey. I also am starting a apparel line because clothing is a big way that we express ourselves. I want to have a definition shirt for what navigates means to me in connection to mental health. In addition to that, I've been nominated to be a part of the Be More Me coalition, which allows me to talk to students, but also faculty members to see, like, okay, we have a problem, but what's the solution that we're bringing to the table? And that's where I can come in and put my input in and saying, maybe we can work towards this. My mom always says teamwork makes the dream work, and I truly believe that throughout my whole journey and process of doing and being an entrepreneur, I've been able to work with all these amazing partnerships. In addition, I would like to touch on I am a senior, thankfully, about to graduate. But my sophomore year, I was able to raise over $15,000 in connection to my organization, which is amazing. I can truly say that, but being able to balance that. But I really want to give a thanks to the Annie E. Casey Foundation and the Riley's Way Foundation to invest in me so that I can continue to expand these programs towards teens. It's definitely been a journey that I touched on a lot, but coming from the transparency of understanding my why and the positions that I've been put in, all the way to hosting my first after school club at my school, to sitting with myself and challenging myself to be in a space like this and be a part of the social innovation lab, to being in the room with them and understanding that I am the youngest one, but it's okay because I want to challenge myself so that I can expand my thought process of how to be an entrepreneur, as my mom would say. But aside from that, I want to continue my education to understand how I can show up in these spaces. I will be attending Morgan State University this upcoming school year, which I'm definitely proud of. And I will be majoring in social work and minoring in psychology and business. So just keep building that out. In addition to that, my plans are to expand my offerings. I want to have ambassadors host my sessions while I'm off at college, kind of figuring out how to expand those. Also, providing zone of regulation charts in school systems. Like, okay, we are seeing like an improved academic outcome, but how can we put like these charts in school systems so that not only students understand their emotions, but also faculty members and teachers, we all understand each other emotions and doing a comparison. I want to make a mental health book series so that I'm able to compare navigating through anxiety, navigating through depression, things of that nature. And well, that's me again. Understanding that I was in the process and at the age where I was there during COVID and I didn't know how to navigate through my journey. But I'm here now understanding that I'm ready for the next steps. I'm ready to challenge myself in spaces I've never been before. And I want to definitely thank the Social Innovation Lab for allowing me to do that. So thank you. And I just want to wrap up because I know I'm on time. But taking a look at this chart, understanding that this is a process that we're all navigating through, and coming from even from being angry all the way to being content, we're making progress. I just want to touch on if you scan the QR code, it takes you to additional mental health resources if needed. Also, you can come to my table and we can talk one on one if needed. Thank you.
Thank you, Shania. Can we have one more round of applause? Come on now. She deserves a little bit more. Just a tad bit more. Wow. Excellent. And so up next, we have, oh, before we do that, I would like to transition and make sure that we give one other alumni shout out. So we actually have two things to share about Tide Courtney Edwards tonight. Not only is she also a recipient of United Way's Challenge, she also won the ARPA Community Arts Grants for $100,000. She's not here tonight, but I still think she deserves a round of applause. As we say, The journey continues. The funding dollars from SIL now is in the tens of millions of dollars and will continuously creep upwards. So we want to make sure that we highlight those that have come before and soon to be. And with that, I have the pleasure of introducing another entrepreneur focused on the women's health journey tonight. Danielle has been focusing on an innovative way to support period care and potentially diagnostics related to women's health. I'm very, very bullish on her and this product. And so, with my pleasure, NovaCop with Danielle. All yours, Lydia. Move forward.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Danielle, and I am the CEO of NovaCup. I like to call NovaCup my second thesis that I've been working on here at Hopkins, but the idea actually started at a different JH in my life. I'm from Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and I'm really passionate about sustainability because I had a really wonderful backyard growing up. However, learning how to have a period in rural Wyoming presented some challenges, such as limited access to civilization and some unique lifestyle choices that demand some creative solutions if you happen to have your period at 13,000 feet. These experiences, combined with my scientific background, formed NovaCup. We are a pre-seed femtech company working to provide human-centric period care products and reimagined period health services for those experiencing menstruation. For period care products, many of us are familiar with disposable pads and tampons, but a growing number of women prioritize affordable, usable, and sustainable products. Of the alternatives introduced to meet this market need, the menstrual cup has drawn the greatest crowd due to its 10-year lifespan and 12-hour wear time. However, these cups are poorly designed and are difficult to use. Okay, sorry that this doesn't play. 20% of users have difficulty with the first step that demands a steep learning curve of various folds in order to narrow the cup for insertion. If inserted properly, another 10% of users have difficulty with removal that also puts them at risk of spilling their full cup. Okay, thank you. Um, we we attribute the competition's wide mouth and static design as a leading factor to the low adoption and difficult adoption of menstrual cups. I do have a cup available at the table if you want to see how difficult it is to use. Our research also shows that while consumers are aware of cups and their benefits, their design is intimidating and deters most users. In a similar vein, women's health care remains cumbersome and ineffective with limited and variable access across our country. And for those who get into the clinic, awaiting them are antiquated procedures that leave women's reproductive health far behind the capabilities of our male counterparts. Our innovative solution is NovaCup's patent pending multiphasic design that offers two unique performance benefits over the competition. First, NovaCup can self collapse and expand to allow for effortless insertion. Next, NovaCup mechanisms aid in removal while enclosing cup contents for a mess-free experience. The NovaCup product line is intentionally designed to provide maximum ease and comfort for all stages of menstrual cup use. We have developed a multi-pronged customer acquisition strategy to navigate the many layers of culture, stigma, and taboo associated with menstruation. These education and awareness initiatives are aimed to drive customers to purchase a Nova Cup on our website or later at select retailers. Hopefully, our superior design will motivate customers to register their cup with our online red bag system. Our introductory level, co-developed with pelvic floor therapists, offers users a customized Nova Cup that fits their size and firmness preferences, as well as starter fit kits that offer 2 cups and sanitization methods, all within a discreet and dignified travel case. Our long-term growth strategy is to develop the Redback system to include health and wellness tracking at our basic level and diagnostic capabilities at our premium level. With Redback Health Services, customers can request a mail-back kit and use their own NovaCup for sample collection of vaginal discharge. What is currently considered bio-waste will then be returned to NovaCup labs for diagnostic testing of common gynecological conditions. And while this slide here represents a 5-year goal of NovaCup's Redback services, our long-term vision is to be both a one-stop shop for period care products, as well as a clinical bridge to women's health as a pioneering healthcare platform. This is because the period care market is already highly saturated and highly competitive, as you can see on the McKinsey market analysis on the left. We believe that our improved user experience of NovaCup will make us a viable contender in this market, and this strategy also positions us to be leaders in the many open fields of innovation in women's healthcare, while also meeting the needs of over 100 million potential users in our total addressable market. For early market entry, we have 6 to 25 million consumers in our beachhead markets of individuals with prior experience and dissatisfaction with their menstrual cup. And our user demographics span a spectrum of conditions and settings, offering diverse partnership opportunities to increase need-based access for underrepresented communities, while we also serve that growing customer demand for more innovative and sustainable femtech. We have spent the last few years ideating, validating, and prototyping NovaCup and have raised over $50,000 in pre-seed funding, and we only need another 150,000 more to reach beta testing. Really, only 125 of that will get us through prototyping, regulation, and manufacturing of our Class 2 medical device, but any additional investment could make health and wellness features available to women in Baltimore City under research use designation in time for beta testing. Please talk to me afterwards if you are interested in becoming a beta tester or joining our team of innovators working to pioneer periods.
Great job, Danielle. Oh man, that's amazing. Aren't they innovative, y'all? That's crazy. I had no idea what a menstrual cup was until I met Danielle. Um, but now I am a believer. It makes great. It's great stuff. Very appreciative. All right, we got one more before we take a short 5-minute break. All right. During that break, we are going to ask your help to help other folks that are standing find some of the empty seats that are still in the room. Also, that might be a great time to re-up on food or to go grab any one-pagers or things from tables. We won't have our founders go back and talk to y'all for 20 minutes at tables because we'll never get the other 5 presenters up, but you can go over and check out the stuff from the folks that you heard or ask a quick question, etc. But before we do that, we got one more founder before the break. Very, very, very special because I think oftentimes when we think about social impact in Baltimore and all of the cool things we're doing to make our city better, our immigrant communities oftentimes get left out of the conversation. And there aren't many resources or solutions that are built for them. But not any longer. Amari Jeremiah is going to come up and talk about how he is revolutionizing the way we create solutions and get resources to our immigrant communities in Baltimore. So without further ado, Amari Jeremiah, let's do it.
All right, hello everyone. So I'm just going to start with a brief scenario. Hujambo habari. Unaweza kusaidia na mimi ninahitaji kwenda hospitali. Hospitali uko wapi? Unajua? Unaelewa? I want us to take a moment here to put ourselves in someone else's shoes. Imagine you're in a position where English is not your first language, where you're limited English proficient, and you are trying to receive services in Baltimore City. Because what I just asked this person here is, can you help me to find a hospital because I don't feel well? This is one of the biggest challenges faced by the limited English proficient or LEP population when it comes to accessing services. Nearly 100% of LEP immigrants in Baltimore City are at risk for medical injury due to a language barrier. But this is not the only challenge that's faced by the LEP population, because immigrants that are second generation immigrants are 30% more likely to fall into poverty than non-immigrants in the United States. And this is something that we've seen recently with the Key Bridge collapse, because when the Key Bridge collapsed, when it came to communicating with families of the people who died, it was hard to communicate with them because most of those families were Spanish speaking. And I want to just kind of show this in one story with one student that I met, and I want everyone to here to meet Yesenia. Yesenia is a high school student. She is a high school student at Patterson High School. Yesenia knows these two challenges very well. Because Yesenia, her parents are from El Salvador. She was born in the United States. Oftentimes, Yesenia was pulled out of school because her parents had to go to the doctor, had to go to social services. But Yesenia's parents knew that if they went to the doctor by themselves, if they went to social services by themselves, they would not be able to communicate with the service providers there. In addition to this, Yesenia recently finds out that her parents are going to be deported back to El Salvador because their temporary protected status was not going to be renewed. Yesenia has 3 younger siblings, and she's going to be the person that has to take care of those younger siblings when their parents leave the United States. Yesenia is in that population of people that's likely to fall into poverty. But something happens with Yesenia. Yesenia hears about our program and our program being called Next Generation Language Access. Because our mission at Next Generation Language Access is to train high school students such as Yesenia to be professional community interpreters for 2 reasons. One, so that we can prevent first and second generation immigrants from falling into poverty. And 2, so that we can provide more trained interpreters in community settings so that anyone, regardless of the language that they speak, is able to receive the services that they need to move forward in life. We have a very diverse team that speaks a variety of languages and has a variety of services. We meet together as a team, and as a team, we decide what are the best ways in which we can provide services to high school students, to first and second generation high school students, so that they can move forward when they graduate from high school by training them to be professional community interpreters. And Yesenia is one of those students that attends our program. She attends our program, she applies for the program, she's accepted into the program, and she begins her training to be a professional community interpreter. Our training covers a wide variety of skills because students in our training learn how to be professional community interpreters. They can work anywhere in the United States after completing our training. They can work in person, they can work online, they can work over the phone. They learn how to write a resume, learn how to write a cover letter. They're connected with different employers so that when they graduate from Patterson High School or any other school in Baltimore City, they can move into employment positions as community interpreters or bilingual professionals. We also prepare students for interpreter certification. In order to be a medical interpreter, in order to be a court certified interpreter, you first have to go through a training that we provide so that they can move into those types of positions. So a question that often comes up is what happens when someone finishes our training? What is the amount of money that they can make after finishing our training? Just by finishing our training, a professional community interpreter, on average, if they work full time, starts at $51,000 a year. If they decide they want to be certified as a medical interpreter, on average, a medical certified interpreter makes $55,000 a year. If they decide they want to work for the legal system, they want to work for the state courts of Maryland, for the federal government, they want to be a court certified interpreter, a court certified interpreter makes $86,000 a year. This is still with a high school diploma being the educational requirement to move into these positions. I want us to think for a second about what it means to lift somebody out of poverty, knowing that you can go through this training and starting at a salary of $51,000 a year and going up each year from there. Our organization is able to train students that speak over 100 different languages. We want to train 200 students to be professional interpreters by 2029. And we are currently at Patterson High School finishing up our first cohort of training at that school. In terms of our organization, most of our money comes through donations, but we also have schools that pay us to do training, being $500 per student. And in the future, we also want to offer talent recruitment services, so organizations looking to have more bilingual talents, and consulting services, because we're the only organization in the United States that trains high school students to be interpreters at this time. And I just want to end here with Yesenia's story, because Yesenia finished our training, she was able to work full-time as a community interpreter. She's starting at $51,000 a year. So Yesenia has wrote in her application that she was dedicated not to be, she was dedicated to being a success story. She knew that the odds were against her. She knew her family wasn't going to be here, but she knew that she saw a path forward after attending our presentation and knowing that she could be trained to be a community interpreter. Yesenia is now working to be a court certified interpreter. We have students at Patterson High School that have similar dreams, also similar challenges. 4 of our students currently have received jobs as community interpreters starting at $25 a year, $25 an hour, I'm sorry. $25 an hour. And so in terms of how we can move forward, we want to partner with people such as yourselves. If you have an organization that's looking to employ bilingual individuals, looking for interpreters in your organization, we want to partner with you. We want to provide an interpreter trainer so that we can expand this training to other schools, Digital Harbor High School, Ben Franklin High School, other high schools in Baltimore City, so that anyone, regardless of the language they speak, is able to receive services that they understand, and that all our students, regardless of the language that they speak or where they come from, is not subjected to living in poverty. Thank you for your time.
Great job. You killed that. You killed that. Thank you, y'all. Can we have one more round of applause for Omari? I'm going to do that every single time. All right. How we doing? How are we feeling? We made it through the first 5. I wanted to ask, if there is no one sitting next to you, can you raise your hand real quick? Okay. So all the people that kind of trickled in and were a little shy, just letting you know there's still plenty of empty seats. And as we are about to transition into the break, that's an excellent time to make yourself comfortable. Speaking of the break, we're going to take a few minutes, relieve yourselves, get another second, or maybe for some of you, third plate of food. You can grab some cards, leave some post-it notes, etc., etc. Thank you. Did I forget anything? Okay. I don't know if I was supposed to say that. How long is the break? Shit.
5 minutes.
Oops.
Just 5 minutes, y'all, real quick. 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. All right, 5 minutes.
All right, all right. Thank you all so much for getting back in a timely manner. Thank you for bearing with us. Now, I've had the pleasure of working with this particular founder for the last 6 months, so I'm not going to say she's my favorite, but she's definitely my favorite. I could tell from, yeah, exactly. Okay, anyway, Morgan is truly a phenomenal woman by all means. I've definitely enjoyed and had the pleasure of being in her space. I say all the time that our one-on-ones more so feel like a bit of wellness. I feel like I've gotten her services directly for free, so thanks to Social Innovation Lab. But Morgan has been dedicated to building out spaces for Baltimore residents with holistic wellness services, programs, community building, so on and so forth. Again, it's all included in the pitch. And I want y'all to give it up for Morgan with Sacred House.
Okay. Listen. Okay, so first, I'm gonna eat up a little bit of my time because I'm gonna be fully transparent. I'm a little nervous. I do this all the time, but I want to invite you guys to participate in a powerful technique with me. So we're gonna do a quick box breath. So we're gonna go 4 in through the nose. We're gonna hold for 4. We're gonna go 4 out through the mouth, and then we're gonna hold for 4. Okay, ready? You breathe. I count. We can close our eyes. Let's go in through the mouth for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Thank you. And so I am presenting to you Sacred House, empowering individuals to heal and thrive through holistic wellness. So meet Charles, aka Hot Boy Chucky, a local Baltimore entrepreneur, a business owner, a clothing designer, an influencer with over 100,000 followers across social media platforms, a father, and my friend. Charles, like myself, grew up in West Baltimore and faced many significant ACEs, also known as adverse childhood experiences. I'll teach you more about that later. But Charles, in addition to those childhood experiences, over the last 3 to 4 years, experienced some other significant traumas, including the shooting death of 3 of his close friends to gun violence here in the streets of Baltimore, just dealing with the effects of depression and anxiety, symptoms of PTSD, and even developing a gambling program. A gambling problem. Charles is essentially the quintessential target customer of Sacred House, someone who is facing the stigmas of mental health issues, someone who is looking for resources in their community, and someone who is plagued with traumas from adults and from childhood that have long lasting effects. Well, in May of 2023, Charles unfortunately lost his battle with depression and took his own life to suicide. He left behind many family, supporters, and friends like myself. So, similar to many other people in West Baltimore, like Charles and like myself, we often experience what's known as ACEs or adverse childhood experiences. Adverse childhood experiences are essentially anything potentially traumatic during childhood. So, that could be violence, that could be exposure to violence, that could be neglect, abuse, etc. And one thing that we've learned is, according to the National Institute of Mental Illnesses, experiencing 6 or more ACEs in someone's lifetime could decrease life expectancy by 20 years. So one thing we've noticed is just like 39.1% of other people in Maryland, like Charles, was not able to receive the care and the services that they need. So let's talk facts. In Baltimore, 42% of adults have experienced 3 or more ACEs. That's almost double than the national average. So according to the esteemed Johns Hopkins University, we trust them, 1 in 4 adults meet the criteria for PTSD. So that means there are 1,082,305 more Charleses in our community. Those are people in neighborhoods and in communities that lack the resources that they need. And I know because I was one of them. My own suicide and depression story brought me here. So I am Morgan Dominique, and I am introducing to you Sacred House, where we believe in the power of holistic wellness to transform lives. Our mission is simple: to empower individuals to heal through holistic wellness practices. So how do we do it? We do it through our classes. So you can come check us out at our studio location in West Baltimore. We do it through our products. We make all of our own organic herbal wellness healing products to help you heal and thrive. And then also you can bring us into your corporation or your school in order to provide trauma-informed care and social emotional learning for students, teachers, and organizations. So let's talk progress. I started this lovely business back in 2022, and since then we've made a lot of significant progress. Here in Baltimore, we have been able to do 500 hours of in-person trauma care service and raise over $100,000 with our various funders. And in addition to that, we have been able to serve over 500 people with our community giveaway and even being featured on the news for the work that we are doing to help in food insecurity in our neighborhoods. So here's some of our work in the city with the mayor and at some of your favorite events. And we are super excited. So let's talk results. So these are what the people are saying about our products. So first, we have a testimonial about someone talking about the power of our healing products. 2, we have one of our teachers talking about less fights and more mindfulness among the students. And then lastly, we have a review from Google, someone in the community just talking about how amazing it is to have these resources. So this is our business model. We have products, classes, services, and many other resources for the community. We have memberships and programs, and we have a really awesome sliding scale membership that I'll tell you about a little bit more in a second. So here's how we compare. There are competitors. There are apps and things that are designed to help you with your mental health. There are local centers that are designed, but nothing does what we do because we are holistic. We have a holistic, accessible, affordable, trauma-informed care custom approach. So whether you are like Charles and you are suffering from the stigmas of mental health, or you are a single family, or I'm sorry, a family looking for resources, or you are elderly in the community looking for things to help you and meet you where you are, we have something for everyone. So here's the timeline. This is what we've done, and this is what is next. So right now we are working on building out these two new amazing initiatives. One will be our mobile app platform, in which we will have an AI mental health assistant, and we plan on working with some of our other amazing cohort members. You'll hear about them later. And then also our land project. We want to work with the Dollar Baltimore Home Project or the Adopt a Lot program in order to revitalize and relocate our center to reduce our cost of goods sold. We want to grow our own herbs for our products. We want to be able to grow food for the members of our community and continue the work that we are doing. So, how can you help? First, we need partners. We need partners. We need partners. We need partners. So, if you are a school, a corporation, if you are interested in the work that we are doing, we are looking to partner with you because we understand that healing is holistic and we need to affect all the levels. So, here is how you can support. You can donate to our community fund, which, like I mentioned before, we have a sliding scale membership so that we can offer free or subsidized memberships to members of our community who may not be able to afford it. We also, of course, are always looking for funders. And then this, we want to invite you to come out into our studio and take a free class. And if you are not able to scan it here, you can visit our table and get a brochure. So we want to thank you so much. So when you think of West Baltimore, I will end with this. When you think of West Baltimore, don't just think about the don't just think about the trauma and the trials and the tribulations of the people of the city. Think about the triumphs and the amazing work that we are doing here at Sacred House and join this $5.6 billion industry in the revolution to healing the Baltimore community and beyond. Thank you.
Great job. Give it up for Morgan. Give it up for Morgan one more time. That's amazing work, and it's really important. I was able to go to one of Morgan's events, and there was young people there that particular night, and they continued to say how they didn't have a space to go like that in their community. I talked to Jay Nawachu's in the back from Innovation Works, where they have a neighborhood strategy where we connect the communities to the entrepreneurs and the institutions in our neighborhood. And so when I see place-based organizations and community where people can actually touch, feel, and go to help solve their issues, I think that's really important and beautiful to see. And hard to do. Not everybody has a brick and mortar. So Morgan, we appreciate you and your work. And we're gonna keep it right on going. Another one of my favorites. This one is one of my favorites because I'm from Northeast Baltimore, y'all. 21218, Tivoli Avenue. And the person I'm about to bring up next has built a program to connect people starting in that particular neighborhood to the health resources they need. So I'm so excited to introduce and bring up our next presenter, Miss Khadija, Project Healthy Community. Oh, as she comes up, I didn't know the slide was next. Sorry, y'all. I do want to shout out Adiola Ajani, who is the founder of Fem Equity and was just featured in Essence magazine, was selected as a NASDAQ milestone maker, and recently won another $15,000 at the Dingman Center for Entrepreneurship pitch competition. So as you can see, our alumni are out here getting to the money and creating change and being impactful all across. Without further ado, Ms. Khadija.
Everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. And thank y'all for being here. I just want to say that I'm grateful today. I see a lot of familiar faces and some new ones, and I'm just thankful that y'all are here to hear about all the wonderful work that we're doing. All right, so my name is Khadija Hart, and I am one of the program coordinators for Project Healthy Communities. For over 100 years, research has documented that Black people in America and Native Americans live sicker and shorter lives than the average American. Now, this was a quote that was from a professor. His name was David R. Williams, and he's a chair at Harvard School of Public Health. So you can see this, and it's interesting. I was driving here today, and Dr. K, I don't know if y'all familiar with her, but she was on a radio station. She was talking about just the life expectancy and the white owl and the black butterfly, which we know Dr. Lawrence Brown, he talks about. Social and built environments significantly influence public health outcomes and have great implications for access to care, physical activity, and nutrition, behavior, housing, and neighborhood safety. So we know that all of these, where we live, where we work, where we play, these social determinants of health impact our life expectancy, and that differs from depending on how we look. Okay. Now, this became even more evident during what happened in 2020, y'all? COVID, right? So we knew, said people are dying. What's happening? People that look like me, black folks, is dying out here, and this poor folks are dying, and this is happening at disproportionately rates and effective marginalized areas, with mostly black folks, okay? And so this is interesting because this stat says black folks were dying 3.5 times more likely to die of COVID than white Americans. So I don't know what y'all were doing in 2020, but what I was doing was just going through a lot of stuff, just being anxious about life, right? What was going on? We didn't know what was happening. My son, we found out, was neurodivergent. And so just kind of dealing with him in school, and I was grateful. And I don't know if you all know what neurodivergent means, but he's on the spectrum and dyslexic. And so kind of dealing with COVID and that impact. And I was out walking, right? I was out walking, had just finished graduate school and got accepted into a fellowship, the Bunting Neighborhood Leadership Program, which was amazing because it was designed to equip the next set of community leaders with all kinds of resources and things like that to make systemic changes, right? So I was one of several who was accepted into that program. So there were 6 of us we like to affectionately call Voltrina, who came together to create this program. Atia Wells, she was the executive director of Backyard Base Camp. Alexis Covington, she lives in the community. Myself, Laquita Chansey, shout out to Baltimore Homes, Nicola Norman, and Perry Carroll. And what we did was we created something called Project Healthy Communities, right? As a way to create an ecosystem for fostering health equity through expert-led activities and cross-sector partnerships to improve community health outcomes. And the reason why we did this was because Atia left her job as a nurse. And she said, you know what, I want to create this program with us all together, doing some things called Walk with the Doc. This is a national program. She brought this here. We were the first folks to bring this here. We had doctors that were coming down from all over, talking to the community and bringing resources together to the community. And what we said, we wanted these expert-led activities to promote health equity and to create these partnerships. And so we were rocking and rolling, y'all. This is Dr. Cooper, Lisa Cooper with the University of UHI and other doctors that were talking to us. When we did Project Health Communities, we also created a mindfulness, and we had other people kind of coming from the community and provide us with resources, and we looked at other folks who were doing things around the Lake Montebello already, and we were working with them and encouraging people to reach out and connect with them. And I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous, y'all. But also, what Project Healthy Communities let us do was also do some health and wellness expos. And so we were bringing resources directly to the community and like just mobilizing them. Kaiser Permanente, we were doing screenings. We were doing just all kinds of just really unique things. So on year 1, we had 31 walks and we had 14 doctors. And these doctors actually came from, like I said, they were all over, but a lot of them were Black, a lot of them were women. We engaged with 1,200 people. Year 2, we actually had to decrease our walks because we found that it was actually capacity. We just really didn't have the capacity for it. And we needed additional funding. Okay. But we raised just under $130,000 in grants and sponsorships, y'all. So we were doing our thing. We did 3 health and wellness fairs and symposiums. We did 4 virtual community conversations. We did 25 different community volunteer opportunities. We did 2 safety walks. We were just doing all kinds of stuff. We had partners, including Girl Trek. The community said that they couldn't walk with us on Sundays. And so what we started doing was walking on other days that they can also walk. We had the Baltimore Department of Health come in and give us funding. We did AARP. We actually did safety audits with them. We had Giant actually come out and they bring a nutritionist out. Care First, they give us funding as well. And America Walks, we go around walking. So testimonials, people said, they said, there has got to be $5 million in the room easily. And what was interesting was they said this because we were outside walking and there were so many different resources available. You never know who is going to be out walking with us in the community. One person said it was like a community resources, TED Talk, Clear My Mind, fellowship, network, all while burning calories. I don't even know how to explain it. It was dope as fuck. That's what she said, right? One said, the community is not helping me. And I think that that's very interesting too, because we have different people, different demographics in the neighborhood that we're working with. We have some people who are trying to do this, walk and do things socially, and some people, they need food, right? So their needs are completely different. So we need to do a little bit more customer discovery so we can make sure that we're meeting the needs of all of our community members. Where we want to go, we want to do more capacity building. We want to do more community program. We want to put together an advisory board. We need a pipeline of doctors, y'all. We're out here walking, and Johns Hopkins has to do better. I mean, I'm saying this now because, as healthy as we're trying to be, y'all have all these doctors. We got to come on. Y'all got to come and send these doctors down to us. We need an advisory board. We need people to be on this advisory board for us. We want to create an app, just like Morgan also. I mean, we want to be able to track how we are being connected. And I'm wrapping up. And then we want to do more research because we're creating, this might be social behavior change, right? So we're seeing people are coming up, they're walking, they're feeling better, they're exercising, and then they come back again. So we want to make sure we know, how is this impacting them? How is this changing their life? So if you guys, we welcome you to learn more about our work, because I know it was a lot that I was saying, and I get nervous, and y'all probably like, what is she saying? But we are doing this. Y'all recognize us. We want y'all to come and support us. We really want you to be here. We thank y'all. Sorry, I have this mic in my face, and thank you.
Oh no. One more round of applause. I love you, Khadijah. Okay. Truly innovative. Really, I think what's so interesting about Khadijah's work with the team is they found basically the demand without even realizing this was a strategic opportunity. So they've been growing with the amount of demand, and are trying to keep up with that capacity. So again, even if you are just slightly curious, we really, really encourage you to check them out. And so next, I have the pleasure of introducing a particularly dynamic and creative founder who has found a unique need for brick and mortar businesses post-pandemic. And yes, I'm sure that's a buzzword at this point, but really thinking in a strategic way how to use the future of work and all of these immersive technologies and that we've seen again post-pandemic, and bring that to the people in a really unique kind of way, and truly creating something where the technology is focused on the common people. So with that, I'm going to walk on over and pass the mic to Teely with Zero In.
Can I have the... Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Shout out to my whole cohort. Like, they doing it, right? I feel incredibly, let me just say this. I know it's gonna be part of my time, but I feel incredibly blessed to have been in a cohort with you all. I'm somebody who's kind of trying to break out of my shell, not all the way out, but Lord, have they been helping. So I appreciate them and everyone who's running the program. So I'm gonna go through this. Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Teely Cooper, and I am the founder and CEO of Zero In. Zero In is a v-commerce company that is shining a light on brick and mortar retail stores that are struggling with reduced foot traffic. Let's get started. Look familiar? Well, I can tell you that there's a lot of malls, a lot of shopping centers, and a lot of our communities that are starting to look like this all over the country. Now, it's easy to look at this and think, oh, COVID. No, this was happening before COVID. Let's look at some of the reasons why.
Well, I don't know if you all been checking, but things getting expensive. I mean, rising overhead costs, but changing retail landscape. Our customer behavior is changing. We're not shopping in the stores like we used to. We are going online because it's convenient. I'm not mad at us for doing that, but it's having a domino effect on businesses. And big e-commerce giants get to swoop in with their buying power to buy in bulk, to ship in bulk, and it leaves our communities falling at the wayside. So brick and mortar retail stores understand that they have to shift somehow. But how do you manage a whole physical business and then try to figure out e-commerce? Let's look at how they're trying to do that. Well, first, they're going and getting do-it-yourself websites. Woo! Set one of those up and you think you're good, except for you're right back where you started at, because where's the foot traffic? You're talking about 1 in a billion websites. Even if somebody comes to your website, when are they coming back? So you build a website and say, all right, I'm going to go where the people are, social media. Except when you get there, there's dog videos and cat videos you got to compete with. Not to mention all the serious stuff that's going on. So people say, screw that. I'm going to a marketplace because that's where everybody goes to buy and sell. Except for when you get there, no one remembers who you are. They remember Amazon. How many of you all shop on Amazon real quick? Oh, look at y'all, traders. What? I can tell you right now, we do something called the Amazon test, where we have people add 3 things to the cart just for fun. Then we ask them to put their phone down and tell us what business did they just support. And they can't tell you. That means that the businesses are losing their brand identity. And if you haven't noticed, Amazon, who is getting a lot of incentives to come into different cities and set up, they're replacing a lot of their frontline workers with what? Y'all know what's up. Okay, so what's the solution? V-commerce, V for virtual. It's e-commerce attached to a virtual experience. Let me give you an example. How many of you have seen a 360 tour of an apartment for rent or a house for sale? Okay, so y'all already know what I do. I don't have to get up here and explain. This camera, this is what real estate professionals use to capture homes all around the city, all around the country. And they're uniquely positioned everywhere. Now, what happens if we took that technology into the stores where people need to be more accessible? So for example, the way that you take that camera and then you scan the exterior of a business and then the interior of the business, you can build a digital storefront. Now, I want you all, after this, getting nervous. I want you all, at least half of y'all, because there's a lot of y'all, to come over and actually view the experience. It's hard to play in like a little clip. I want you to take this card because you can scan on the back of it and see exactly what I'm talking about. But a 360 tour of a store where you can interact with the products on the shelf and add to cart. This is something that could really change things for brick and mortar stores that have been struggling with reduced foot traffic. So I just explained this. I'm gonna skip past this. When we build this digital storefront, there's 3 ways that you can get it. So you can get a link that can be added to social media. You can embed it on your website, or it can be a QR code that can be on flyers or in-store windows. But this is what I'm most proud of. We're building a whole platform that will allow you to zero in on storefronts nationally. So being able to search by city, being able to click on the stores in that city and then zero in around the store and add products to cart. This is a big industry. E-commerce is not going anywhere. In 2023, it was 6.3 trillion. By 2026, it'll hit 8.1 trillion. This is really simple, actually. It's a lot simpler than people think. As soon as a store knows that they want to get this done, then they call us to come to the store, we do a scan, and then in less than a week, when we can build the experience and then launch it and continue to track it, the performance. Last 3 slides, almost there. So I'm very passionate about this because we live in a generation where the youth are all about technology. So let's use that, right? They would love to play with drones and 360 cameras and podcast equipment. Let's put that to use to help brick and mortar retail stores. And I have to shout out my brother Amari right here. The work that you're doing in this community, brother, I salute you. And I put my whole energy in saying that because I can't imagine what it would be like to be entering into an ecosystem where English is not my primary language and I'm trying to figure it out. And so I really meant that. And so I asked him, can we partner? Because I know that there's a lot of Spanish-speaking store owners out there that would like to be included. And we did. We partnered. Almost done. And so I recruited 3 of his students, and they absolutely loved what we were doing, and they went out and talked with the store owners in Highlandtown. And so we got something coming up. Here's my amazing team, and we all shine bright in our own little ways. But currently, we are expanding our team. Shout out to Kim Kostler in the back for helping me. We are opening up our internships and bringing on more talent to diversify our team and really be able to build and scale out. And last slide. We just secured our first pilot program with the city of Baltimore. And we'll be launching this summer. Look out for it. We're gonna come across all 9 main streets. Shout out to the city of Baltimore and Baltimore Main Streets program. Thank y'all for having me. I appreciate it.
Wow, can we have another round of applause and sincerely? Doing great, excellent work. Excellent. And so that brings us to our last alumni shout out of the night. Katie Kilby, shout out to last year. I know we got a couple other alumni in the room. Unfortunately, Katie was not able to join us, but we would be remiss if we didn't honor her and make sure that we shout out that she actually launched her co-working and event space. It's so funny because a year ago, I remember, Anthony, correct me if I'm wrong, that was still in the works. So to be here 365-ish days later and know that it's a fully functioning, facilitated space and starting to bring in that foot traffic shows that a year can really make a difference, and moments like these are definitely ones to document. And so I'm being selfish because I know me and Anthony are supposed to alternate, but I would also be remiss if I didn't have the opportunity to introduce this particular founder. Now, when we were originally talking about splitting teams, I was like, oh, sustainable housing, I know a thing or two about that. Randy instantly showed me I know very little to nothing, if anything at all. And honestly, I feel like a lot of our one-to-ones was her just educating me on the industry. I had, from that first call, 10 open tabs of different white papers to read. And I'm still maybe a little confused, but I got there. And really, her major goal was to raise $1 million or more. And while we haven't accomplished that yet, definitely over the course of just these months alone, she's definitely started to make the steps towards there. And I'm very, very confident in a year's time, we'll be looking at a much, much, much larger number than what you originally promised. So with that, I would love to introduce Ms. Randy Williams with Metallic Luxury.
Does this work? Which way? This way? Oh, wow. It works. Hi, everyone. Okay, so how many of you have actually bought a home already? Oh, wow. How many of y'all were actually prepared when y'all got into this house for all the maintenance and fixings and everything? All them hands ain't raised back up. Okay, there we go. So now we here. So in 2022, CNBC actually reported that 26% of our homeowners were actually much less prepared for home ownership than they thought. I was one of those people as well. Hi, my name is Randy Williams, and I'm the founder of Metallic Luxury. Metallic Luxury was created to initiate the chain of generational wealth with foreclosure prevention education through home ownership. As you can see, Baltimore, Columbia, and Towson actually have one of the highest foreclosure rates in the country. So for every 431 homes, there is one foreclosure. Maryland has a housing need of 96,000 homes, and Baltimore has 70,000 vacants for potential homeowner opportunities. So how do we actually figure out to bring housing or home ownership that's affordable to Baltimore City or to many of our states that need it? Modular housing. Modular housing actually allows us to provide safer and efficient work environments. Climate resilient home feature allows us to introduce water installation, conservation, solar power grids, and many more upcycling steel, like steel roofs and those things that actually help reduce the maintenance cost of homes. But also foreclosure prevention education, which will be provided by Truist Bank as of a couple of weeks ago. But who do we provide this service to? Pretty much all of you young professionals looking to move to new cities, looking to buy, design, and build a home of your own. But we would like to actually focus on low to moderate income buyers because we feel like that's a target market that is normally forgotten. So how do you find out about buying a home from us? We hope to actually start attending more Live Baltimore sessions where you can then receive some literature or then learn about the sessions that we'll be hosting so that you can sit with our lenders and our realtor to learn about how you can become eligible and then sign up to enroll in our program. When you go through this program, you'll actually go through budgeting crisis information and detailed for about a month's time, and then you'll actually close on your home. So let's talk about how much it actually costs. And let me make a note here. The designs of these homes were actually provided by So the average market price of a Baltimore home, which is about 1,200 square feet in Baltimore City, is $220,000. We can actually give you a home for $185,000 from our manufacturing facility. And we're doing that because we're able to provide you the production costs as well as sell you the land for a low cost and provide our developers fees so that we can become a sustainable business. Let me go back and also say that we do provide these particular climate resilient models and sustainable developments to state and local governments, in which a young lady is here. We've been working with District 10 as well as the 21217 community with Winata. As you can see, with just the sale of 6 homes, we're projected to make $1.1 million in our first year. We would like to show you the cost difference of what it will be for you to purchase a home if you were to purchase one in Baltimore City. Normally they are around $220,000 to $250,000. So we've been at this for a while. Container homes are pretty much very new to Baltimore City. We started in 2019 making sure that they were 100% compliant. And then we started to lock in welders and lenders and realtors and work with the Maryland mortgage originators of the state. As well, we moved into figuring out that it's time to build the first modular container community. And now, as of at the end of today, we finished in our sponsorship with Johns Hopkins University as our second year applying, we have finally made it. As you can see, some of our other partners, we have Innovation Works, the One Group, the Department of Housing, the Low Income Investment Fund, and as well the Maryland Energy Innovative Accelerator that we just was accepted to about a month ago. So, have any of you actually seen a modular container community in Baltimore City? No, so we'll be the first. Oh, I love being the first. That's awesome. Well, we're just gonna move forward. So as you can see, we have Ashley, this is our realtor, Joseph, our mortgage banker. The mortgage banking part is actually one of the most important parts. So how do we make this affordable comes into play because we now have a home loan option that allows you to absorb your soft and your hard costs. So you'll be able to close on your home with your regular down payment and you won't have to scream to go through construction loan here and construction loan there. We'll be able to put it all into one. But one of the other things that we want to highlight is the developers of the R House just across the street were actually in their Black Developer Support Initiative, in which they provide us with support at all times. And as well as Jay in the back, they provide us with business support at Innovation Works continuously. So our ask actually has come down, Sephora, from $1 million to $450,000, just with the realization that we need land. So in comparison, if you do have a piece of land that you would like to build on, we can help you build a home, a commercial space, or something of that sort to kind of pilot the idea of bringing sustainable housing or sustainable spaces to Maryland or to our local areas. So thank you for your time, but it's time to drop some dimes. Y'all better scan that QR code. Even if it's 50 cents, just send it on in. We greatly appreciate it, but we now anticipate being the first modular container community in Baltimore City.
Great job. Randy mentioned it when she was presenting that this is not her first time applying to SIL. Try to get rid of that thing. Why is that there? This is her second time applying. And just that resilience, I think, is necessary, especially in the industry that she's trying to go into, right? Doing something new and innovative that we haven't seen before. And I think that's what's gotten her to this point. So if there's any other SIO applicants in the room that did not get in, come back, try again. We like repeat applicants for sure. All right, we're gonna keep it going. I think we got one more. All right. One more. All right. I appreciate you all for sticking it out to the end. For our grand finale, I am so happy that I get to make this introduction because it is actually one of my friends that I've known for a very long time. We went to college together at the illustrious Howard University. Yeah, what's going on? And to be able to watch and see from afar and up close all of the work you've done over the past 10 years since Howard, to be able to build such an impactful organization in maternal health. I'm gonna let you do it because when they see it, they're gonna know it and they're gonna feel it. I won't have to do any more talking. Without further ado, Leah Hairston.
Hi, everybody. If you have a mom, I need you to raise your hand. If you came to Earth, you have a mom, so everybody's hand should be up. But I want you to realize that over 45,000 new moms are at risk of dying each year in Maryland. And that means that 124 new moms would be buried each day. We can save them though, and that's what I'm here to talk to you about. I know this because I have spent the better part of the last decade dedicating my life to protecting and saving the lives of new parents as a birth and a postpartum doula. My name, as Anthony said, is Leah Hairston, and I'm the CEO and founder of Sweet Bee Services. We are Baltimore's premier doula agency, and we're on a mission to end maternal mortality. The US is 10 times deadlier than other countries, comparatively speaking. Other countries have healthcare systems that focus on offering continuous care from pregnancy through postpartum, and they specifically focus on the first 42 days after somebody's had a baby to provide life-saving interventions. We don't do that in the US. Instead, 1 in 5 white women and 3 in 5 Black women are expected to die within 1 year of giving birth. Let that sit with you. Globally, Access to education would lower that risk. But the CDC reports that Black women with a college degree are 5 times more likely to die after giving birth. Research shows, though, that 84% of these deaths are preventable. That means we can save these lives. In the US, new moms face a perilous journey. Our maternal mortality rates have doubled in the last decade, and nearly 50% of maternal deaths happen within the first year after giving birth. Over 2.2 million women live in maternity care deserts, which means that their access to equitable and necessary health care that could save their lives is actually hard to get to, or they don't have it within their communities. We've also found that the risks and barriers are felt much more urgently for Black and Brown women, those over the age of 35, and people with infertility. And when we account for people who fall in this category multiple times, if you look at my pink and my green lines up here, we find that the outcomes have significant disparities. The pink and the green lines show what it looks like when we're just looking at maternal age, and the green line is for white women over the age of 35, but the pink line is for Black women over the age of 35. And compare that to the black line, which is just the standard US maternal mortality rate. This is unacceptable. Across the globe, access to money can also improve health outcomes. But women as famous and wealthy as Serena Williams and Beyonce shared about their own public near-death experiences after giving birth. And if these women can't fight the disparity, then what are we supposed to do? So I became a doula. And in 2016, I dedicated my life to fighting these disparities and birth outcomes, specifically because of what I found in research about Black women. In the state of Maryland, Black women are 4 times more likely to die. But 98% of my clients are Black women. And at Sweet Bee Services, we have dedicated over 900 hours to personalized care, serving over 100 families, and all of them are alive and thriving. We offer a uniquely wraparound support for our families, and that approach is based on education, trauma-informed care, and a person-centered perspective. We build relationships with our clients, and that allows us to dedicate time to listening to them and addressing their top concerns. And this approach has led to our 0% mortality rate. Despite the fact that all of our clients face elevated risk factors when having babies, they have shared about concerns around their mental health, around their physical health, particularly heart disease, which is one of the top contributors to maternal mortality. They've expressed concerns about being over the age of 35 and the quality of care that may or may not be available to them. And many express their fear of dying explicitly. We support their physical, emotional, and mental well-being, both by addressing their concerns with our multidisciplinary team and by equipping them with the tools to advocate for their needs. We work with the birthing person, with their partner, with their chosen community, as we educate and empower them during the 6 to 9 months of their pregnancy and well into the first year of that baby's life. Our team believes that everyone deserves peace of mind and a safe postpartum experience. Salama means safety in Swahili, and that is our solution. We are grateful for the medical expertise of doctors and for the kind, personalized support that doulas provide, but siloed support is not enough. The gaps in new parent experiences that they have in continuous care can only be filled with an explicitly collaborative approach. Salama Wellness combines the tried and true wisdom of personalized care with medical knowledge and innovative technology. We offer 3 options. You can stay at a Salama Center for 3 to 5 nights of dedicated care and community with new parents. You can use a Salama Wellness app for personalized integrated healthcare and support from pregnancy through postpartum. Or you can, in addition, receive in-home support from our team of dedicated caregivers. This provides new parents with comprehensive wraparound care from conception to baby's first birthday. And it honors equitable access to healthcare so that we can meet families at various financial points. At each monumental transition, our new parents in their chosen community can receive dedicated, personalized education, healthcare providers, and interventions that will save their lives. There are over 45,000 birthing people at risk of dying in Maryland every year. And with 84% of these deaths preventable, that means we can keep 38,000 people alive. And with Salama's innovative approach, we can make postpartum safe and start by saving over 1,000 lives. Our initial revenue streams include a monthly app subscription to our Salama Wellness, nightly stays at the Salama centers, and new parent classes available both in person and virtually. We also are looking forward to partnerships with healthcare providers, insurance companies, and employers. Who is this we I keep talking about? This we is a founding team of the global majority. We are women who are mothers, who are doulas, who are healthcare practitioners, but we are invested because of our own personal and professional experiences. We are uniquely positioned, both academically and from lived experience, to address this concern. We are grateful for our partners and for our sponsors to date, including Johns Hopkins University Social Innovation Lab, including Innovation Works, United Way, and Pharrell Williams Black Ambition Prize. We are also honored to have a phenomenal advisory board, and our team is equally passionate and filled with innovative women. We welcome conversations with investors and partners in the hospital, higher education, and hotel and hospitality industries as we're looking to build out our Salama wellness experiences. And I am confident that we can save lives and end maternal mortality in this century. We're at 103 and counting. Will you join me?
I told y'all I didn't have to say nothing else. I knew she was gonna kill it. Amazing, 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 impactful work. For all of the cohort, can we get a big round of applause for all of our founders? It's just amazing. I'm so inspired to sit here today and to share the space with y'all. I remember when you came in. I remember the imposter syndrome some of you had, or the thoughts about not being where you wanted to be. And I see you all here today shining so brightly, and I'm just so happy and proud of y'all. The other thing that I want to point out, much more so than the cohort that I was in Social Innovation Lab, and even more so than the cohort that was here last year, I have never seen a group come together so cohesively and love on each other, support each other, partner with each other to build solutions together to change Baltimore. Even Leah's last slide, her advisor is an SIO alumni. And so this SIO community is growing, it's thriving, it supports each other. And I think together we're gonna make really impactful and important change in Baltimore City. So now it's time to vote, y'all. If you do not have a ballot, please raise your hand. If you do not have a ballot. Godson is coming around to pass out a ballot to who may not have received it. So your job now is to rank, we got some in the back, is to rank your top 4 teams, 1 being your favorite, 4 being the least favorite. You only get to pick 4, all right? Do that right now. We'll give you a few minutes, and then we're gonna collect those ballots. Sephora is in the back with a basket. After you have voted, please find a basket to submit your vote, all right? While we are doing that, I will also encourage you, after you turn in your vote, now is a good time where you can go and continue to meet with these teams, visit their table, and learn more about their work, get connected, partner, help to fund, all of those things. We want you to check out our website, QR codes on the screen. If you want to stay connected to the Social Innovation Lab, please use the QR code, follow us on social media. Join our monthly newsletter so you can know what's going on. If you're an entrepreneur and you're interested in social entrepreneurship, we will have events that are open to community coming up. And we also want you to apply. All right, so make sure you're doing that. We're going to give them a few minutes to collect all the votes. Let it settle down a bit. And don't go nowhere too fast, y'all. We're going to announce the winners of some money soon. I can talk about that. So please vote. Then feel free to go and network with our founders and our teams. We are going to tally up the votes. It's going to take a few minutes before we can announce our winners. Okay, y'all, so a few more minutes. But while we waiting, I just want to bring light to SIL applications will reopen in August. So if you are a social entrepreneur in the room looking for support, trying to grow your organization, you can apply to the Social Innovation Lab this coming August. The applications will be open. More info to come soon. Okay, y'all. Thank y'all for sticking around. I know some people slid out, but it's good to see y'all here to see our winners. I have no doubt in my mind that all of our teams in the program are going to go on to raise a bunch of money and do very well. This is just a start. And so we're very excited to announce 2 Audience Choice Award winners and our Cohort Prize winner. So I'm gonna bring Sephora up to introduce the first Audience Choice Award winner.
I click next, it's gonna show it. Okay. Well, it really, really, really was neck and neck and neck and neck and neck and neck. It was definitely a testament to how hard these founders have been working. I really don't want to hold anybody up for too long, but I am truly, truly proud to announce our first Audience Choice winner, which is oh, what I do wrong? What I do wrong? NGLA!
Yeah. And to introduce our second cohort prize, we have SIL alum and United Way changemaker, Erica Myers here.
I am delighted to share that the winner of the second Audience Choice Award, if you can do your drum roll again, Metallic Luxury. Congratulations. Congratulations, Randy.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Next, we're gonna do our cohort prize. This prize was voted on by the members of the cohort for who they thought should win the grand prize. And to do that, I am honored to bring back last year's SIL $20,000 cohort prize winner, Lena from Baltimore City Writing Center.
Hi, good evening, everyone. It's so beautiful to be back in this space. And the one thing that I'm just really feeling palpable is the energy of so much love and support and collegiality between all of the cohort members here. As a recipient of the cohort prize last year, I can't tell you how much of an honor that really felt. And I could see and feel that every single one of you would have voted for each other if you had the opportunity to do so. So, with that said, I'm really, really thrilled to be able to pass a grand cohort prize following well-deserving recipients. Salama Wellness.
Leah, we're going to invite you back to the stage really quick just to say a word or two. And also, cohort, after this, we need cohort pictures.
I've been a doula for almost 10 years, and I've been bootstrapping my business for the last 8.5 years, and it is an absolute honor to be a part of this cohort. This is a phenomenal group of people who are making an incredible impact in Baltimore and Maryland and the world. Thank you for voting for me, y'all. Thank you for Thank you for helping us to save lives and to protect all mamas, because when we address disparities, we are impacting everybody's lives and everything can improve for everyone else. So, yeah, twin. So thank you so much. You will be seeing a lot of me because I'm a woman on a mission. I have a phenomenal team. We're looking for more people to join us because we cannot close that gap alone. So thank you so much.
Yes, yes. And another round of applause for our 2023-2024 Social Innovation Lab cohort. Congratulations.